Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Saturday, January 21st, 2023, and giving you our team picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Wyoming Cowboys vs Colorado State Rams. The Colorado State Rams visit Laramie, Wyoming and Arena Auditorium on Saturday to play the Wyoming Cowboys in a Mountain West Conference showdown. Colorado State dropped to 10-10 overall and 2-5 in MWC play following its 82-76 loss to San Diego State. Colorado State has alternated between wins and losses in each of its last 6 games and has lost 6 of the last 8. The border war is a great rivalry and the injury-depleted Cowboys will try their best to come out on top. They'll miss Hunter Maldonado a lot, so I'm going with the Rams to cover. Both teams are awful on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the Rams have more scoring options at the moment. Our team pick is Colorado State Rams plus 1 points. The betting trends are not helping a lot, though Wyoming is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 home games against Colorado State. Both teams have gone 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games overall. The Cowboys are 4-9 against the spread in their previous 13 home tilts played in January, and the Rams are 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 contests in the MWC play. Evansville Purple Aces vs Drake Bulldogs. The Drake Bulldogs visit Evansville, Indiana and the Ford Center on Saturday to play the Evansville Purple Aces in a Missouri Valley Conference showdown. Drake dropped to 14-6 overall and 5-4 in MVC play following its 65-62 loss to Missouri State. The loss snapped a 3-game winning streak for the Bulldogs. Drake has 6 of the last 9. The Bulldogs have won 6 of their last 9 games. They don't have a high-scoring offense, but they're playing well at the moment, scoring more than 74 points per game in their last 3 games, while making over 48% of their shots. They rebound the ball well and do a good job on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring opportunities. They also do a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Purple Aces a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Purple Aces aren't very good defensively and they're not playing well at the moment, giving up more than 80 points per game in their last 3 games, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Bulldogs. The Purple Aces have lost 7 straight games and 5 of their last 7 home games. They aren't very good offensively, even at home where they are scoring less than 65 points per game. They don't rebound the ball as well as the Bulldogs and won't get a lot of extra scoring opportunities against them. They've also been careless with the ball, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Bulldogs. Our team pick is Drake Bulldogs to cover. With Drake holding opponents under 70 points per game on the road, expect them to keep Evansville's offense in check. Go with Drake to cover the spread. North Carolina State Wolfpack vs North Carolina Tar Heels. The North Carolina Tar Heels play host to the North Carolina State Wolfpack on Saturday in a rivalry showdown from the D. Smith Center. The two come in with nothing to separate them in the ACC standings, while both also carry winning streaks into this version of the rivalry. The Tar Heels swept last year's set of games, while they've won 3 in a row overall and 8 of the last 9. This has been a series dominated by UNC over the last handful of years, and it'll be interesting to see if the Wolfpack can change that on the road in this one. The Wolfpack will be hard-pressed to come away with a win in this one, but they have plenty of talent to make things interesting. The Wolfpack have elite scoring to go toe-to-toe with the Tar Heels, while their frontcourt generate second-chance opportunities at a similar level as UNC as well. The Tar Heels have struggled against teams in the top half of the standings, and with North Carolina State falling into that mix, they won't win this game as easily as the home fans in the rivalry might think. Additionally, according to Covers.com, UNC is 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games against a team with a winning percentage above .600 and are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 home games, following a straight-up win. Bowling Green Falcons vs Miami Redhawks. The Miami Redhawks, 7-11, 1-4 MAC, are on the road Saturday, paying a visit to Bowling Green, Ohio and the Stroh Center for a Mid-American Conference game with the Bowling Green Falcons, 8-10, 2-3 MAC. Miami was defeated by the Northern Illinois Huskies 81-77 on Tuesday for their second consecutive loss and fourth in the last 5 games. Bowling Green was defeated by the Buffalo Bulls 171 on Tuesday, suffering their third consecutive loss. Miami, Ohio does not have any players on its injury report, while Bowling Green will play without Jamal Felt. The Miami Redhawks have an above-average offense that scores 74.7 points per game and a below-average defense that allows the same 74.7 points per game. Our team pick is Bowling Green Falcons minus 4.5 points. The Redhawks have struggled to cover the number, failing to cover each of the last 2 and 4 of the last 6. Bowling Green's offense, which is scoring an average of 77.7 points per game while shooting 44.8% overall, will be too much for the Miami defense to contain. Bowling Green has covered the spread in 3 of the last 5. Although this matchup is evenly matched, the difference will be Bowling Green playing on its home court, where the Falcons have covered the spread in each of the last 3. UNLV at Fresno State. UNLV heads to Fresno State for some Mountain West action on Saturday. The Rebels, 12-6, 1-5, were sunk at Utah State on Tuesday, 75-71, as +7 underdogs on the road. The Bulldogs, 6-11, 2-4, dropped a 51-48 tilt to Air Force at home last Saturday, as -2.5 favorites. It's a 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tip-off between these rival schools from the Save Mart Center in Fresno. Despite both teams coming in on the heels of 3-game losing streaks, one of these teams is playing better than the other. In their last 3 games, the Bulldogs have averaged just 56.7 points to the 72.6 that the Rebels have scored in their current losing streak. In the span of each team's last 5 games, UNLV hit 24 more shots total and were a better shooting team as well. As a common opponent, both played and lost to Colorado State within their last 3 games. The Rebels played them just 2 games ago and lost in overtime by 1 point. Our team pick is UNLV minus 2.5 points. The Bulldogs were dropped by 22 by the Rams. The case is similar in comparing both of their matchups versus San Jose State, including the overtime for UNLV. Harkless most definitely won't have another game like he did last time out, and that spells big trouble for Fresno State. Missouri Tigers vs Alabama Crimson Tide. The ability to grab rebounds is critical as Alabama is grabbing 46 rebounds per game, while Missouri is averaging just 31.1 total rebounds per game. The defense has improved at different levels recently, as the Crimson Tide are allowing 63.3 points in their last 4 games, while the Tigers are giving up 77 points in their previous 3 games. Our team pick Alabama Crimson Tide minus 6 points. All in all, go with Alabama to cover the spread on the road here. West Virginia Mountaineers vs Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns come into this game at 15-3, and they are also 2-1 on the road, with 2 impressive wins away from home against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Our team pick is Texas plus 1.5 points. West Virginia has been inconsistent all year, and the Mountaineers have struggled in step-up games against top teams such as Texas. The Longhorns' defense should be able to control a West Virginia offense that has been inefficient all season. San Francisco Dons vs BYU Cougars. The BYU Cougars are set to hit the road on Saturday and head to the coast to take on the San Francisco Dons in WCC action. The Cougars come in at 14-8 on the season and are 4-3 in WCC play thus far. Meanwhile, the Dons come in at 12-9 overall this season, but just 1-5 in conference play this season. The opening tap for this WCC clash is set for 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. BYU is just 2-3 on the road this season and comes into this matchup having lost 2 out of 3 games. In addition, the Cougars' defense has been vulnerable as of late, allowing nearly 80 points per game over those 3 games. Our team pick is US minus 1.5 points. US bounced back with a win over Pacific and needs this home win to keep in a position to stay alive for an at-large NCAA bid. Look for the Dons to take advantage of the BYU miscues to win the fast break points battle and for their perimeter offense to dissect the Cougars. Clemson Tigers vs Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia Tech meets Clemson on Saturday, January 21st. The Hokies have had a tough time on the road this season. They are 0-5 away form and they are 1-6 in ACC play. On the other hand, Clemson has had a great year where they are in first place in the ACC with a 10-0 record at home. The tip-off between these two teams is slated for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Virginia Tech is 0-5 on the road this season. The Tigers have won every home game this year. Clemson has won every conference game by 8 points or more. Our team pick is Clemson Tigers -2 points. The front court play led by Tyson has been unstoppable for ACC teams this year, and Virginia Tech will have a hard time stopping it on Saturday. With the Hokies' poor road record along with Clemson's strong home record, I am taking Clemson to cover easily. St. Mary's Gales vs Santa Clara Broncos. The Santa Clara Broncos will travel to the University Credit Union Pavilion on Saturday night in a WCC matchup against the St. Mary's Gales. The Broncos are 16-5, 4-2 so far this season and are riding a two-game winning streak after an 83-76 home win over the BYU Cougars on Thursday. The Gales are 17-4, 6-0 right now and are riding an 8-game winning streak after coming off a 73-44 road win against the Pepperdine Waves on Thursday. They also played on December 31st where the Gales won on the road 67-64. When you dive into KenPom's adjusted efficiency margin, Santa Clara is 83rd in the sport with a +9.14 rating thus far, while St. Mary's are 8th in college basketball with a +23.69 rating thus far. Looking at the three-point percentage so far, there is a sizable difference as the Broncos are 91st in the nation with a 35.63-point percentage, while the Gales are 46th in the country with a 37% from beyond the arc. Our team pick is St. Mary's Gales to cover. Go with the St. Mary's Gales to cover the spread here. Tulsa Golden Hurricane vs Tulane Green Wave. Off to a surprising 12-6 mark which includes a 5-2 record in ACC, the Tulane Green Wave traveled to Oklahoma to battle the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The Green Wave beat the Golden Hurricane solidly earlier in the year by a score of 93-77 and are looking for a similar margin of victory in this game. Tulane is 5-1 against the spread in its past 6 overall, with its loss to Houston the only aberration. Tulsa has just won against the spread win in its past 10 overall and is 0-7 Austrian shillings at home this season. The Green Wave didn't get it done against the nation's top-ranked team, but they battled for a good portion of the game. They'll fare better on the road against conference doormat Tulsa. Tulane is 15th in assist-turnover ratio, 26th in points per game, and 2nd in free throw percentage. It's an offensive juggernaut no one wishes to game plan for. Tulsa does not rebound the ball, -5.6 rebounding margin, or take care of it well enough, 256th assist-turnover ratio, to keep pace with Tulane's offense, even at home. It's also allowing its opponents to score nearly 76 points per game on 45.9% shooting. Our team pick is Tulane covers. The Green Wave will take their frustrations from Tuesday's loss out on the Golden Hurricane, winning and covering the spread as road favorites. Mississippi State Bulldogs vs Florida Gators. When looking at KenPom's adjusted efficiency margin, the Gators are 45th in the nation with a +14.63 rating, while the Bulldogs are 59th in the sport with a +13.38 rating thus far. When you look at the scoring lately, Florida is averaging 68.5 points in their previous 4 games, while Mississippi State is scoring 57.3 points in their last 3 games. Go with the Florida Gators to pick up a road win and cover the spread. Southern California Trojans vs Arizona State Sun Devils. The Sun Devils have won 4 of their last 5 games and 8 of their last 10 home games. They have played well offensively at home, scoring more than 73 points per game. They do a good job finding the open man and they're very aggressive on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring chances. They also do a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Trojans a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Trojans have played well defensively, but they struggled in recent road games, giving up 80 points or more in 2 of their last 3 road games, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Sun Devils. The Trojans have lost 3 of their last 5 games and 3 of their 5 road games. They aren't very good offensively, and they play worse on the road where they are scoring less than 70 points per game. They don't rebound the ball as well as the Sun Devils and won't get a lot of extra scoring opportunities against them. They've also been careless with the ball, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Sun Devils, who average more than 6 steals per game at home. Our team pick is Arizona State Sun Devils -4 points. The Sun Devils are very good defensively and they play better at home. Utah Utes vs Washington Huskies. According to KenPom, there is not too much of a difference between these programs, as Utah is 61st in the country with a plus 13.22 rating, while Washington is 98th in college basketball with a plus 6.85 rating. The ability to shoot the three in their last 3 games shows a massive difference, as the Huskies are shooting 41.9% from beyond the arc, while the Utes are connecting on 34.8% from 3 in that span. Our team pick is Washington Huskies +8 points. All in all, go with Washington getting points. Pacific Tigers vs Gonzaga Bulldogs. Despite some significant off-season losses, most notably Chet Holmgren, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, 16-4-5-1, are having another outstanding season and are ranked number 6 in the country. The Bulldogs head to Stockton to battle the Pacific Tigers. The Bulldogs defeated the Tigers by a score of 89-51 last season. Gonzaga had the nation's longest home winning streak snapped in their last game, which was their first conference loss. They will turn things around in this game facing a Pacific team that is coming off a terrible game where their starters were a combined 4-24 from the floor. The leading scorers for the Tigers are all struggling and the team has lost both of their last 2 games by double digits. Our team pick is Gonzaga -15.5 points. The Zags were not their usual high-scoring team in their last game, but will get back to being that in this game facing a Pacific team that allowed their opponent to shoot 53.6% from the floor in the last game and gave up 92 points in the game before that. Gonzaga crushed the Tigers at home last season, and on the road in this game they will easily win and cover. Air Force Falcons vs San Diego State Aztecs. The Falcons have won 3 straight games and 9 of their last 13 home games. They have played well offensively at home, scoring more than 72 points per game while making over 49% of their shots. They rebound the ball well and they're aggressive on the offensive glass, which will give them more scoring chances. They also do a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Aztecs a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Aztecs usually play well defensively, but they've struggled on the road where they are giving up more than 73 points per game, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Falcons in this game. The Aztecs have won 7 of their last 8 games. They have played well offensively, even on the road where they are scoring more than 75 points per game. They struggled at the charity stripe in recent games, making less than 70% of their free throws in their last 3 games. Their rebounding has been very good and will give them a chance in this game, and they've been careless with the ball on the road, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Falcons, who average more than 7 steals per game at home. Our team pick is Air Force Falcons +7.5 points. The Falcons are very good defensively, especially at home where they are holding opponents under 70 points per game, so expect them to keep San Diego State's offense in check. Stanford Cardinal vs Oregon Ducks. I think that this spread is a bit too small. The Ducks are 9-4 in their last 13 games and blew out number 9 Arizona last Saturday. They're playing their best ball of the season and have covered in 3 of their last 4. Looking at their historical matchup, Oregon has won 4 of their last 5 games against Stanford. The Cardinals at their best defensively working inside the arc as they shoot only 31.4% beyond it, ranked 291st. Unfortunately for them, that's exactly where Oregon has been excelling all season long. I don't think Stanford's rebounding edge will be enough since the Ducks rank in the top 85 in both offensive and defensive rebounding rates themselves. Our team pick is Oregon Ducks -3.5 points. In this matchup, I'm taking the team that's urging and playing great all-around basketball because I think that -3.5 should be a good bit higher.